Hours after the Boston Celtics blew Chicago out of the United Center, 133-77, smoke billowed from the chimney of the Bulls' practice facility on Sunday afternoon. But having just fired Fred Hoiberg 6 days before, the Bulls weren't about to elect another leader. The steam came from players' emotions following the team's worst defeat in the 53-year history of the franchise. And as the Bulls fell to last place in the Eastern Conference with a 6-21 record, newly minted head coach Jim Boylen was feeling the heat. According to the Chicago Tribune, a group text exchange among 2 to 3 players was advocating for not even showing up for the rare practice called the day after a set of back-to-back games with another game scheduled Monday. The main beef, apparently, was the unusual substitution patterns Boylen employed during the course of the 56-point massacre. With 7:15 left in the opening quarter and the Celtics up 13-0, Boylen pulled out all the starters and made a 5-man substitution. He did the same mass replacements at the 9:02 mark of the third quarter when the Celtics went on a 5-3 run. Yes, a mere 5-3 run that stretched Boston's lead to 69-46. It sure is a significant deficit, but not insurmountable considering the time left and that the Bulls were playing at home in front of a charged crowd of 20,923. The starters did not play in the final 21 minutes and 2 seconds of the second half. The short leash given to them was mystifying. Obviously, languishing in the bench didn't sit well with Zach Lavin, who was visibly annoyed when he told reporters, "I felt embarrassed. I wish I was out there competing. Fat chance." Lavin logged only 18 minutes and 53 seconds of action, way below his 35.2 minutes per game average this season. He ended up with 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and plenty of frustrations. "We didn't honor the game very well with our effort and competitiveness, so why not take them all out?" Boylen said when pressed to explain the abrupt yanking twice of his starting unit. Boylen didn't really have to expound. A head coach wields absolute power when it comes to player rotations. Those decisions are only his to make. End of story. The great Pat Riley and the stern Greg Popovich have in the past weaponized benching as a motivational tool to spur the troops to fight with more vigor and valor for another day. But such ploy can also inspire locker room mutiny. Thus, a coach must possess the wisdom to know the difference. While there is something to be said about Boylen's audacity to do what he believes is best for the team, players' feelings be damned, the fact remains that benching stars and holding 2-hour practices that reportedly include suicide sprints can get old really quick. Toughness is a tremendous trait for an NBA head coach. But tender mercy and knowing your personnel are just as valuable. After the Bulls lost Game 4 of the 1997 NBA Finals to the Utah Jazz, then head coach Phil Jackson, the Tribune reported, allowed Dennis Rodman to fly to Las Vegas where he can gamble and party so that the manic rebounder known as the Worm can dissipate energy. Saying yes to Rodman's Sin City fling was the easy part. Explaining the decision to Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen and the rest of the quarantined Bulls was the tricky part. But such was the genius of the Zen master. He knew that his job required him to be a psychiatrist and a politician at times. After losing Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals, a heart-rending 103-100 meltdown in which the Spurs lost a 5-point lead in the final 28.2 seconds, Coach Popovich gathered his players to a late-night dinner at Il Gabbiano restaurant in Miami, according to the Los Angeles Times. One of the brightest minds to ever roam an NBA sideline. Popovich could have rooted over missed free throws and one crucial Heat offensive rebound. He chose not to because he understood his players were devastated and they needed Pop to be the healer, the solvent that corrodes the pain. Because he did not ask to renegotiate his contract after he was promoted, Boylen still makes $800,000 this season. If he is, however, signed to a long-term contract as head coach, he will earn between $4 to $5 million a year. Obviously, he will need help from his players. Their success in wins and losses is his as well. But if Boylen expects these young Bulls to hit a wall for him, he might need to dull the tough approach a little bit. As an old saying goes, you can catch more bees with honey